and shall find solutions for issues and problems facing us. Grant us the mercy, O Lord, that we shall today also honor thy name in all we think, do, and say. Almighty God, we pray thee, bless our land and all its people. This all we pray in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Affirmation. I solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to the Republic of Namibia and its people, and I solemnly promise to uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of the Republic of Namibia to the best of my ability. Announcements. On behalf of the National Assembly, I would like to congratulate the following two ministers who graduated last week. The Minister of Education, Youth, Sport, Arts and Culture, Honorable Sanet Steenkamp, was conferred a doctoral degree in philosophy in education, leadership and management from Rhodes University in South Africa on Friday, the 10th of October, 2025. Honorable Dr. Steenkamp's thesis, titled Expanding the Leadership of Learning Support Teachers in Resource Schools, a Formative Intervention Study in Namibia, explored ways to strengthen leadership amongst teachers supporting learners with special needs. The Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, Honorable Indileni Daniels, graduated on Wednesday, the 8th of October, 2025, with a master's degree in education in early childhood development. Your dedication, Honorable Ministers, perseverance, and countless hours of hard work have paid off. We therefore wish you continued success and fulfillment in all your future endeavors. Then, honorable members, the final announcement. We are being invited to the National Assembly Fun Walk that is going to take place on Friday, the 17th of October. The starting point will be Dan Filiun Road Block, and honorable members are expected to be there at 7 hours in the morning to start walking at 7:30 for a 5 times 2 kilometers distance, equaling 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers to go and 5 kilometers back. Honorable members should wear comfortable sport gear and walking shoes. T-shirts, light snacks, and drinks are going to be provided. The honorable members should show up there for the fun walk. Any message from the head of state? Oh, the biscuits. The biscuits would come later. If you attend the fun walk, you will get the good ones. Now, any petitions? Reports of standing or select committees? Other reports and papers? Okay. Honorable Kachingi Siwa.
Good afternoon, Honorable Speaker. Good afternoon, honorable members, all political party leaders. I lay upon the table for discussion and consideration for this August House the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Gender Equality, Health and Social Welfare report of the meeting of the 78th World Health Assembly and the Inter-Parliamentary Union report number 1 of 2025. The 78th World Health Assembly took place from the 19th to the 27th of May 2025 in Geneva, Switzerland, under the theme One World for Health. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable member may now table the report, please. Honorable Balotti.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I lay upon the table, in terms of Rule 222 of the Standing Rules and Orders, the executive summary of NAMCOL for the year 2023-2024, the annual report of NAMCOL for the year 2023-2024, as well as the integrated annual report for the National Commission on Research, Science and Technology for the year 2024-2025. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
The honorable member may please table the report. Notices of questions. Honorable Nashinge.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Belated happy birthday. We want to eat the cake. Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 16th of October, 2025, I shall ask my counterpart as a Shadow Minister of Home Affairs. I'll be asking Honorable Lucia Ipumbu the following. Honorable Minister, while we appreciate the Ministry's effort to prioritize members of the Women and Men Network Against Crime during the 2024-2025 police recruitment, many long-serving and dedicated volunteers were left out due to the set requirements, particularly the grade 10 qualification and the age limit of 25 to 40 years. These men and women joined the network in their youth and have contributed to the community's safety for over a decade, yet now find themselves excluded from the very system they helped to strengthen. Therefore, Honorable Minister, question 1, given that many long-serving members of the network were disqualified by age and qualification limits, is the Ministry considering a special provision of an alternative recruitment category to accommodate their years of dedication, their years of dedicated service? 2, Honorable Minister, media reports indicate that the Inspector General had increased the recruitment quota for the Women and Men Network Against Crime to 10 members per region. Could the Minister confirm whether this decision was implemented and how many members benefited from it? 3, since these volunteers have been operating under NAMPO's guidance for years, does the Ministry intend to formalize their role through structured community policing programs or a permanent auxiliary arrangement? 4, what steps is the Ministry considering to ensure that future recruitment exercise balance formal qualification requirements with the recognition of long-term voluntary service to national safety? 5th and last, Honorable Minister, it has been alleged that the Inspector General may have facilitated the requirement of individuals from the Omsate region under the quota intended for the Oshana region. Could the Minister confirm or deny these allegations and clarify how many recruitments from Oshana region actually benefited under the regional quota? I so submit. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable, please table the questions. Honorable Mouton, Honorable Member, you have to press your gadget.
I hereby give notice that on Thursday, 16 October, I shall ask the Minister of ICT the following. Is the Honourable Minister aware of the corruption happening in NBC? If NBC is not a profit-making entity, can the Minister please explain to me how it is possible that every month the employees of NBC pay their pay-as-you-earn tax, yet NBC failed to pay this tax over to NAMBRA and therefore needed government bailout, tax and penalty write-offs valued at 353 million. Where did this money go? This is a clear non-compliance with the Tax Act. If NBC needs tax write-offs and bailouts, how is it possible that management can get unauthorized bonuses, buy luxury cars and travel all over claiming SNTs. This misuse of finances at NBC is deeply concerning, and this is not even mentioning all the damning evidence in the multiple failed audit reports by the Auditor General. So, Honourable Minister, why is NBC not being investigated? If a state-owned enterprise needs a bailout, that should be the first
You need
alarm
to
bell.
read your question and table it.
I'm reading
Yeah.
verbatim. I'm saying it verbatim. My eyes are here. If a state-owned enterprise needs a bailout, this should be the first alarm bells that should go off of possible corruption. Remember when you all bailed out Namco for 1.2 billion in 2024? Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Honorable Lucato.
Honorable Speaker, members of Parliament, and the leaders of various political parties, good day. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 16th of October 2025, I shall ask the Honorable just a point of correction. Yes, point of correction. Yes, okay, thank you so much. On the 16th of October 25, I shall ask the Right Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, and the Mines and the Energy, Honorable Natangwe Itete, the following questions. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister, is regarding by a Namibian citizen by the name of Mr. Exi, who is residing at Sibinda constituency, has requested and submitted his application to establish a fuel rental license to establish in Zambezi region near Sibinda. This serves as an application for the rental license to establish a viable fuel station at Sibinda area on 5 hectares. Sibinda area is potential settlement. Situated along Trans-Caprivi Highway, midway Katima Muliro and the Kongora. The government offices Binda constituents, Office Minister of Basic Education and Culture, and also the Minister of Health and Social Services. Then the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, the concerned Mr. Exi, he needs an explanation why his application has been delayed. I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Table the questions, honorable member. I recognize Honorable Likando.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 23rd of October 2025, I shall ask the Honorable Minister of Environment, Forest and Tourism the following questions. Honorable Speaker, recent reports from the Minister of Environment, Forest and Tourism indicate that Namibia has an estimated elephant population of 25,000, a figure that underscores the country's rich biodiversity and its global significance in wildlife conservation. However, this figure must be viewed against the backdrop of recent alarming events. The Etosha National Park disaster, which ravaged over a third of the park earlier this year. In the aftermath, reports emerged of an elephant migrating from Etosha into the Omosat region, where it was eventually shot dead near human settlements. This incident has raised serious concerns regarding the ministry's ability to monitor wildlife movements, manage human-wildlife conflicts, protect both communities and wildlife in a changing environment. Honorable Minister,
Following the Etosha wildfire, what strategies did the ministry implement to track and safeguard displaced wildlife, particularly elephants, whose natural habitats were destroyed by the fire?
Tell us.
How was the elephant that was recently shot in Omusat region migrate from Etosha National Park? And what monitoring, collaring, or tracking system does the ministry use to follow elephant movements both inside and outside protected areas? Can the minister provide details on the decision-making process that led to the shooting of the elephant and clarify whether guided return to the park or intervention by trained wildlife teams were considered? How many elephants and other big five animals have been classified as problem animals over the past 3 years? And what were the outcomes in terms of relocation, distractions, or other interventions? Honorable Speaker, I so submit.
Yes, sir. Early childhood.
Honorable Brinkman. Honorable Brinkman.
Urgent oral question, Speaker.
Oh, okay, let's go to the Honorable Venani. Is yours also an oral question?
Honorable Speaker, I rise to ask one formal question and two other oral questions.
No, just formal questions.
Yes.
Because we must finish all the formal questions before we come to oral questions.
Okay, Honorable Speaker, I comply with your ruling.
In fact, every member would have one question only. So maybe I give one flexibility for one last time, honorable members. The rules are saying 80, yeah? One question once. Yes, you may proceed with the written question. Honorable member, just proceed, please. Let's not go there.
Honorable Speaker, there is no rule that you are quoting. You are quoting a schedule.
Okay, honorable member, proceed.
No, let me just say.
The rule is saying you may not argue with the ruling of the chair.
I'm not arguing. Speaker, what you are quoting is not a rule. It's a schedule. The schedule says.
Honorable, proceed.
The schedule says each member shall ask one question for a particular minute once.
Yes.
It does not say all the questions that you must ask must only be in that 3 minutes. It only means that the question that you are
honorable
asking.
Member, can you please pose your question?
Please allow me to.
No, you are out of order, honorable.
Because, Speaker, you cannot remake rules of Parliament after 35 years.
Member,
For 35 years, we have been asking questions, and you are saying we can only ask one question.
You are just arguing with the chair now. Just ask the question, honorable.
The question is as follows. Honorable, on the day of the Lord, Thursday, 23rd of October, 2025, I shall ask the indomitable Minister of Defense and Veterans Affairs, my elder brother and good cousin, Honorable Franz Wakapofi, the following. Honorable Kapofi, the government of Namibia, SWAPO-led government, previously engaged several construction projects with a North Korean company known as Mansudai Overseas Project, MPO, which was later linked to the Korean Mining Development Trading Cooperation Committee, an entity sanctioned by the United Nations for arms trading activities. Following international scrutiny and communication with the UN, the Namibian government, led by that party, terminated its contract with Manswade Overseas Project. Honorable Minister, it has come to my attention that there is a 3-story building in my street, a 3-story building located in Herf Street, Ludwigsdorp, which appears to have been owned by the said Manswade Overseas Project and is currently abandoned The ownership and future use of this property remain unclear. I therefore ask these very simple questions to you, Mr. Minister. Does this property belong to the former Manswade Overseas Project, or does it fall under the ownership of the Ministry of Defense and Veterans Affairs or its intelligence associates? How many buildings and properties are owned in Namibia by the said company Mansudai Overseas Project, company under its contract with the government? 3, if the property in Ludwigsdorp or any other properties belong to Mansudai Overseas Project or to the ministry, what plans does the ministry have for the future use, management, or disposal of these buildings? 4, were there any penalties, liquidated damages, or legal consequences imposed on Mansudai Overseas Project or associated entities for failing to complete any of the contracted works in the defense headquarters or other projects? 5, what measures are being implemented to manage and maintain the assets and properties associated with the terminated contracts? And lastly, has the ministry conducted any audits or financial reviews to assess the proper utilization of funds allocated to these projects? If so, can the findings be made available to the public? I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
I give the floor to Honorable Karonda.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think I'm rising on 83.1D. Not sure if, but
What is 83?
83.1D.
83.1D. D.
Yes, privilege,
Okay.
Madam Speaker.
Okay.
But it's something that did not feature during the induction, so I thought maybe it's time to learn, if at all I will be allowed to learn. In the event that the National Assembly is sued, taken to court, and becomes a respondent, who decides which lawyers are going to represent us? And how is that decision taken?
Honorable Member, thank you for
I
that.
tried to look at the Constitution.
Yes.
I'm not finding the answer.
Okay, can I defer an answer on that question?
You want to defer?
Yes, I will provide the answer later. Okay. Thank you. Now, Honorable Kandolodu.
Thank you, Speaker. Oral agent.
Okay, then we have to start with Honorable Brinkman, because she had an oral question, isn't it?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to ask my Honorable Minister of Health. Honorable Minister, are you aware that expired infant formula has been found on the premises of Omakalanga Clinic in the Oshikuku district? Given that expiry date is one of the most critical and basic control measures for any medicinal or nutritional products, what immediate action can our Honorable Minister take today to account for and also to destroy every single excess at the clinic, but nationwide? And can the Honorable Minister also explain this catastrophic failure in stock rotation, seeming that there are other children that so dire needs this milk? Lastly, can the Honorable Minister immediately issue a public health alert to all clinics and communities in the region to commit a nationwide audit to ensure that no child is fed this poisoned milk? So I submit.
Thank you. I now recognize Honorable Venani to ask his agent oral question.
Where did the milk come from?
Honorable Venani, would you still like to ask your agent oral question?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, please. I'll take all the questions because we have only 20 minutes for agent oral
Honorable
questions.
Speaker, if you would allow me, I want you to consult your legal team and make a final ruling on this once question. Because if it means you can only ask a question once 5 minutes, if that is your interpretation, it would mean that a minister or a member of cabinet can only move one motion once. Because if that interpretation goes like that, it means that any member who stands on the floor of the House can only do it once. So I want the legal department to re-look at that, and the Speaker can make a final ruling whenever it suits you. Thank you very much for your benevolence, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me to ask a few questions. Question 1, urgent to the Deputy Minister of Urban, Rural, Traditional, and all of those matters that concerns us. Question 1 to you, Madam Deputy Minister. I am informed that the second largest city of our country, populace-wise, Rundu, is inundated with water suspension by NamWater, affecting residents of that very beautiful town of Rundu, because the city council, Swapolet Council, has not paid NamWater, and now the water is suspended. What mitigating measures would the ministry take up? You were born before DT. Wait. You were not even born. Madam Minister, I want to know what mitigating measures are you putting as Minister or Deputy Minister of Urban and Rural Development to address this crisis that is being experienced by the residents of Rundu this day. Secondly, I also want to ask you that I have noticed with a very happy heart that the government has donated the old Captain's House of Rebos to the Buster community. Congratulations. The question, listen to the Swapos government's contradiction.
No, Honorable Member.
The question is, you have given this property to a traditional authority that you have not recognized. When is your government going to recognize the Basters Traditional Authority as a homogeneous traditional group in our country 35 years after independence? Yeah. Second question to the Minister of Agriculture, Lands.
That's the third question.
Question number 1 to the Minister of Urban and Rural.
Okay, which is ruled out because the Minister is not here. Proceed with the next one, Honorable.
Speaker, it's just your birthday. You enjoyed your birthday. Why are you bullying? I mean, you must be sweet. It was your birthday. Why are you? Honorable Speaker, I want to ask a question. This question can be ruled by you, whether agent or not. To me, it is agent. In 2006, this House Parliament has unanimously adopted a motion that was brought by yours truly to look at bringing property rights in communal areas. It's nearly 16 years later, and I've been asking this question each and every year by subsequent ministers of lands. How far is the government of the day that posit itself and project itself as a caring government? Parliament has adopted a motion to agree that we must start formalizing property rights in rural areas. 16 years later, we are seeing departures and entry of new agricultural land minister, and I'm very happy for your new entry.
Honorable Member, can you summarize, please? Please, 14 minutes are gone with questions.
14 are.
Yeah.
I want to know from the Minister of Lands, have you ever found a file on your desk or being advised by your people that this Assembly of the People of the Republic of Namibia has unanimously agreed on that motion, and the current president was a member who supported that motion? Where are we standing with property rights in rural areas? Thank you very much.
Now I have 3 more MPs on the list, and we may not be able to have all of the questions answered. Now, Honorable Kandrodo.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Speaker. I have 2 lovely questions. One's go to the Minister of Home Affairs. It it has come to my attention that those in prison, let me use that word, incarcerations. Yeah, incarcerate. Yeah, in prison, there are those either fish road or oil road. They have been transported at night to go and do their businesses, manage their businesses, and then being brought back to the prison. So these are information coming from inside of the prison. Will you clarify on those allegations? The second one goes to the Minister of Health from Oshimpingwe community. Are you aware that there is no ambulance at Oshimpingwe? There was two different cases, where a person who was referred to USACOS for medical attention, government could not transport that patient. As a result, one family traveled from Windhoek to collect the family member from Oshimpingwe, and another one traveled from Swakopmund to provide ambulance services on behalf of the government. When are you going to provide ambulance to Oshimpingwe Clinic? I so submit.
Thank you. Honorable April.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. My question stems from a very deep-seated perceptness. I'm very concerned and worried about inconsistencies and insensitivities with which some of our leadership who operate on basis of delegated power goes about responsibilities. Currently in this House, we had an issue that we discussed.
No, point of privilege.
That we
Honorable
discussed.
members.
It's a question, but I have to give a
question
preamble.
to who?
That's where I'm coming now. These people must please wait.
Yeah, okay. Honorable
So the
members,
question
please.
goes to the Honorable Minister of Works and Transport.
Okay.
Currently, we still have response that we need to get from the other ministers in regards to the insensitivities. But today, or was it yesterday, I read in a newspaper that the Honorable Minister appointed board members. And the sensitivity I'm referring to is this nation consists of 14 regions. And we want to see such being reflected in whatever sort of appointments. For me, what I see is becoming a rampant disregard of the pain of those who feel they are left out. I want the minister to please tell me, why did he proceed to appoint the same sort of problem that we are currently still waiting to get response on? And I want Namibians to know that this is not about people that are appointed, this is about the system. Why is the system doing this? I say submit.
Okay, honorable member, that's in regard to what? Honorable member, that's in regard to which appointment?
The appointment of the board that the Honorable Minister
Honorable
appointed
members,
today.
can I hear the members speak? Which appointment?
That Transport Association, something. The Honorable Minister knows he appointed 4 members to a board.
Okay, but for the records, I would like the honorable members, when they get up, they indicate it's a question to this honorable member and we pose the question. Okay? We know that. The last person is Honorable Lucato. Now it's 8 minutes only to go to answer all the questions. Honorable Lucato, please brief and to the point.
Honorable Speaker, members of Parliament, thank you very much for the floor. I just want to pose an urgent question to my relative sister, Honorable Minister for agriculture and the lands reform. I have mentioned to you here that the farmers in question, countrywide, including the farmers from Zambezi, they don't have markets. Their mahango products and the maize, they're just keeping them there at their places without any markets. So now, as you promised last time, what is the action to get those markets in place? Because they depend on farming projects, let me say farming. So that's very serious. I received that one countrywide, including Zambezi region.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable.
Thank you. Now we start with the, I have already indicated I will give the interpretation on the question of Honorable Karonda, privilege. Now there is the Honorable Brinkman to the Minister of Health. Minister of Health.
Thank you, Honourable Member, for the question. Your question was firstly, am I aware? Yes, I am aware. We are currently investigating the matter, collecting information and data, and once that is then available, we will then make the necessary decision in accordance with that. So immediate actions is to get the exact data, information. Once we have that, we will make a decision and we'll convey it accordingly. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. The next one, Honorable Venani, was a request for an interpretation, which... No, at the discretion, no, the time is out. It's a discretion, yeah. It's the discretion of a speaker to allow a follow-up question. Otherwise, the rest of the questions will not be answered. We are out of time. So I have already indicated that on the request for interpretation of the rule by Honorable Venani, I will respond to that one. On the two oral questions to the Minister of Urban and Rural Development, the Minister is not here. There is a Deputy Minister and she can answer the notified questions, not the urgent oral question. Now we come to Honorable Kandorodu to the Minister of Home Affairs. Minister of Home Affairs? No, she has capacity. It's about
can I be protected?
Yes, please.
Can I be protected, Honorable
Yes,
Speaker?
please, you are protected.
I have the floor.
Yeah. Honorable members, listen to the answers.
Before I respond, Comrade Speaker, I want to caution us that let us not reduce this House to a platform of rumor mongering and street talks. As such, Comrade Kandorodu, or Honorable Kandorodu rather, you on numerous occasions have referred to you have heard, or rumors or whatever you have picked up on the streets. Today, I request you, with my open heart and sharp mind, to put your question in writing with evidence that you have picked up. Wherever you have seen the people being transported at night, by whom, to what destination, and all the evidence to that effect, then I will respond to you. Thank you.
Honorable Minister of Health, Honorable Minister of Health, to the question of Honorable Kandorodu. Honorable Minister of Health, to the question of Honorable Kandorodu.
Honourable Speaker, thank you, Honourable Member. The question is very important. When I answered the question, we did there highlight that we understand that the ambulances we have provided do not meet all of the country's needs. We did highlight that there is a plan to provide ambulances for all the Windhoek district 150%. To all the district hospitals, to the referral hospitals, to the clinics that need them the most. Hence why, after the first distribution, we then continue to distribute another few in Katima. We also are aware that there's quite the need in GAM areas as well as others, and so the plan is in place. The distribution is in a progressive step, and that is definitely being considered. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable April, the question of Honorable April to the Minister of Works. Minister of Works.
Thank you very much, Comrade Speaker. The question is on the Transportation Commission as a temporary board appointed yesterday. Now, Honorable Speaker, I'm cognizant, and as a collective of here, we are highly cognitive of our regional representations in whatever structure we appoint. We are alive to that fact. Now, the Transportation Commission is appointed yesterday. That is the commission that was appointed by His Excellency, Dr. Hage Geingob. May he so rest in peace. After the recommendations. Now, because of the transitional period we are in insofar as the PECA is concerned, that is on the floor of this parliament, a decision is taken that we must not appoint new persons. We are going to appoint temporary boards for a period of 6 months or lesser, depending on how fast we are going to finalize the PECA that is on the floor of this parliament. So what is appointed yesterday is the same board that was appointed already. So this is just a continuation in order for us not to contravene the proportion as presented. So once this PECA is finalized by this parliament, the board, substantive board, will then be appointed. The current one appointed yesterday is just a reappointment on a temporary basis, no addition, no subtraction. So
thank you. The question of Honorable Lucato to the Minister of Agriculture. Minister, are you ready to answer?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Member. The Honorable Member says that farmers countrywide are unable to sell their harvest. So this is a deep question that cut across just an agent oral question, for which I need to get a written question with all the relevant details for me to go and look into the issues and come and provide an appropriate answer based on written submission. I can just in passing say we are aware of the challenges of farmers with respect to their inability to access the market owing to the bumper harvest that was experienced in some of the crop producing regions, not countrywide. You are not aware that Karas or Hardap or Maheke has the same problem, but the Honorable Member says countrywide. So I would respectfully ask him to kindly submit that question in writing, and then we'll provide appropriate answer. With your permission, Honorable Speaker, there was a question also from Honorable Venani about the communal property rights in communal areas.
Yeah, I give you 1 minute because the time is over.
Yeah, I think since the land bill is on the floor of this house, any amendments that is going to improve the communal land area provisions are welcome. I don't think at this stage I'm aware of the motion that the Honorable Member has referred to, but since we have the opportunity to improve the provisions of the land bill that was tabled here, I propose that members who feel that there is some provisions that require improvement, they can be tabled on this, in this house on the floor during the debate. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, thank you very much. Now the time for agent oral question is up. And I would just like to remind the members that in order that we can make optimal use of this platform to ask agent oral question, we should note that we need to be brief and to the point. That's point number one. Number two, all the questions are notified, and only in exceptional circumstances would questions be put without a notice and orally, and they have to be urgent. An urgency means a matter have not to have been known in advance, and the answer needs to be provided urgently, cannot wait until the usual time for responding to questions without causing irreparable damage to the public interest. Otherwise, if we are going to forum shop we are going to trivialize the rules that we have, because there is no difference between oral questions and notified questions anymore. Now, having said that, we will now proceed to notices of motions. Any notice of motions? Honorable Mvula.
No, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, I'm actually rising on a point of privilege. No, I think for us to reach optimum level of maturity, we really need to dish out respect for each other and for the House at large. It's very unpleasant that the Honorable Member, Ipumbu, rises to repeat what was said the other week about Katutura manners or Katutura questions or whatever. I think we need to be objective. The Honorable Minister was, the Honorable Member was supposed to stand and answer the question. Extract your feelings from the principal assembly. Thank you.
Okay, that one is ruled out of order. It is ruled out of order because I didn't hear any Katutura manners. But I think the point that was made, no, not today. Honorable members, the point that we are making here is that, honorable members, can you not speak please at the same time? The questions may not contain nuances and inferences and allegations and all of these things. So yes, and provocation, but not also propaganda. It's not allowed. Just pose a question and raise a query. That's what the rules are saying. Now, Honorable Angula, I have a list. Not yet. I will register you. You are on the list. No. I will give you point of privilege later. You are on the list. Now, Honorable Angula.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby move in terms of Rule 124H of the Standing Rules that Honorable Professor Dr. Job Ampanda be granted leave of absence starting today, the 14th of October 2025, until further notice. I so submit.
Thank you. Please table the motion. Yes, Honorable Felipe.
Mike, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Let me take this moment, Honorable Speaker, to wish you a happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
And also to thank you for your excellent work that you are doing for the Namibian nation.
Thank you.
Having said that, Comrade Speaker, I give notice that on Wednesday, 29th of October 2025, that this August House discusses the policies, procedures, and administration relating to the issuance of police certificates of conduct by the Namibian Police Force, particularly focusing on the legislation and policy framework governing the issuance of certificates of conduct, including the Namibian Police Act of 1990, Act number 19 of 1990. The efficiency, accessibility, and cost of obtaining such certificates for the ordinary citizens, especially to job seekers and students. The implications of administrative barriers on employment, education, and rehabilitation of ex-offenders. The need for a review or modernization of the current system, including the digitalization and decentralization of the Criminal Record Center, and a possible policy reform to balance security needs with social reintegration and fairness. I so move, Comrade Speaker.
Thank you. Please table the motion, Honorable Member. Honorable Mwashindange.
Thank you very much for the floor, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 16th of October 2025, I shall move that this August House, owing to Article 127, Sub-Article 2 of the Namibian Constitution, compel all offices, ministries, and agencies that this Assembly appropriate taxpayers' money to be audited by the Auditor General without exemption, and introduce punitive measures for non-compliance by offices, ministries, and agencies for prudent use of public resources. Respectively, I so move.
Now the last point is Honorable Nashinge on a point of privilege.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to, Honorable Patriot Speaker, I just wanted to engage you to say again, please, your interventions sometimes are really biased. What Honorable Ngula raised, he was just putting two incidences together, where the Honorable Holy Pastor made a statement, you didn't say anything.
Who is the Honorable Holy Pastor?
Yeah,
you are out of order, Honorable member.
No, I withdraw. Yeah, so, seriously, it's not fair, but even the way Honorable Lucia stood up and all that, it was unparliamentary.
Yeah.
And the onus is on you to call all of us to order. Standing up without being given a floor is unparliamentary.
Thank you.
So please, I'm just urging you to maintain the House fairly. You see, I'm speaking the Honorable
Thank you, Honorable Member.
So those are the things that we are urging you, Honorable Speaker, to maintain the House in a fair basis and non-partisan. Thank you very much.
Honorable Member, you are out of order by implying that the presiding officer is not fair. The rules are applied fairly. Honorable members, can you discontinue the clapping so that I can be heard? Thank you. I note your applaud. Yeah, so I just want to draw the attention of the honorable members to Rule 134. The one on questions. Is it 134? General 131. Then it says 131.1. The right to ask a question is subject to the following rules. The intention is to request for information, and a question may not include the name of a person, that's the first one, unless it is necessary to render the question intelligible and can be authenticated. Every day we hear people's names being mentioned here as part of the questions. That's out of order. The question should not relate to more than one subject, or not more than one subject may be referred to in one question. Then a question may not contain arguments, inferences, opinions, imputations, epithets, or hypothetical matters. A question may not be asked if it raises an issue already decided on in the Assembly, or to a chairperson of a committee with the committee's work, or which deals with matters referred to a commission of inquiry, or it may not be asking about the character or conduct of a person except in his or her official or public capacity, or should not reflect on the character or conduct of a person whose conduct can only be challenged on substantive motion, or solicit the expression of an opinion or the solution of a legal question or of a hypothetical proposition. So I just want to highlight this. So when the presiding officer rules questions out of order, you know, it is because of this requirement. Now, having said that, I take note, Honorable Member, we are all agreed, all of us must uphold the rules. But for the members to just get up and accuse the presiding officer of partiality because you were not allowed to violate the rules, that is not acceptable. Now, having said that, the House would rise for a break of 20 minutes until 14 hours. Thank you. Please take our seats. Okay. Now, any further notices of motions? Motions. Honorable Ashipala Musavi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I give notice that tomorrow, the 15th of October, I shall move that this Assembly, noting that the draft protocol on the SADC Parliament has been submitted to the Speaker in accordance with Standing Rule 210(1), aware that Namibia, as a member state of the Southern African Development Community, is expected to provide comments thereon before the 28th of October 2025, and recognizing the importance of this protocol in strengthening regional integration and interparliamentary cooperation. Now therefore resolved that the draft protocol on the SADC parliamentary tabled by the Minister of International Relations and Cooperation be received and noted, that the protocol be referred to the relevant standing committee for consideration and report to the National Assembly in accordance with Standing Rule 212, and that the standing committee report to the House no later than 28th of October 2025 to enable the National Assembly to revert to the Ministry of International Relations and Cooperation before the 31st of October 2025.
The motion. Any ministerial statements? Yes, Minister of Environment and Tourism.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I rise today to address a matter of deep concern and sorrow of the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, and indeed for all Namibians who cherish our country's rich biodiversity and the value of peaceful coexistence of wildlife. On the 11th of October 2025, the Ministry was compelled to take a difficult decision to put down an elephant bull near Onawa village in Umsati region. This decision was not taken lightly. It followed several days of intensive monitoring and repeated unsuccessful efforts to safely guide the animal back into the Etosha National Park. The elephant was first sighted in the Ochivarunda area, having fled the aftermath of the widespread wildfire that had spread from Etosha into the north-central regions. Driven by instinct and the need to escape scorched terrain, the animal moved northward. On the 8th of October, it was reported near Onkani village, heading northwest. MEFT officials tracked its movement closely and made every effort to redirect it towards the park. Despite these interventions, the elephant continued to approach densely populated areas. On the 10th of October, it reached Onanda and Onanda village, crossing both Oshakati Okahao and Oshakati Otapi roads. These movements caused damage to infrastructure and raised serious safety concerns. By the 11th of October, the elephant has entered the vicinity of Onawa village.
dangerously close to homes and the schools. With panic escalating amongst residents and the risk to human life becoming imminent, MEFT was left with no alternative but to act decisively to prevent potential harm or human loss. Honorable members, this incident is a tragic reminder of complex challenges we face in managing human-wildlife conflict, particularly during times of environmental crisis. The Ministry deeply regrets the loss of this majestic animal and acknowledges the emotional impact on affected communities. We also strongly condemn the circulations of graphic and disrespectful images of the elephant on social medias. We urge now the public to exercise and to restrain or refrain from sharing photos or videos depicting the carcass or community members involved in its aftermath. Such action undermines the dignity of both wildlife and the community who live alongside it. Namibia's commitment to conservation, coexistence remain unwavering. MEFT will continue to work with communities to strengthen measures or safety measures, promote conservation ethics, and foster public awareness around human-wildlife interaction. We must uphold the values of respect, responsibility, stewardship in our shared landscapes. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, let this incident serve not only a moment of reflection, but as a call to action. We must invest in proactive strategies, community education, and emergency response mechanisms that protect both human life and our treasured wildlife. I thank you.
Thank you. Now I give the floor to Honorable. Okay, I have another ministerial statement. I would like to have that just delivered, and then we can ask our questions to both ministers. Honorable Nekundi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. My brother there said, I must not say comrade, apparently is unparliamentary. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I rise to update this honorable House on the progress of the critical infrastructure restorations works at the Katutura Intermediate Hospital, specifically regarding the restoration of the solar power heating system serving the main hospital building, nurses' home, and the kitchen area. Honorable members, the Ministry of Works and Transport, through the Namibia Engineering Corporation and Pumps Limited, commenced vital restorations of works on the 12th of August this year. This contract, valued at 10.2 million, has a completion timeline of 6 months, with practical completion scheduled for the 13th of January next year. The scope of this essential project encompasses comprehensive restorations and modernizations of the solar water heating infrastructure, including identification and replacement of reusable facilities, removal of damaged solar collectors and worn copper piping, modification of solar panels to accommodate updated technologies, and the installation of heat pumps for critical areas, including the kitchen and nurses' homes facilities. I see Honorable Mongo and I say nurses is smiling. That's very true. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I'm pleased to report meaningful progress on this vital healthcare infrastructure project. The identification phase has revealed that while most panels have sustained damage from years of service and environmental exposure, certain tanks remain serviceable. Some copper pipes have experienced natural deterioration, though the tanks continue to function adequately. All compromised solar panels have been successfully removed from the main building, nurses' home, and kitchen area, and have been properly transferred to the Ministry of Health and Social Services officials for appropriate disposal. The modification works for the solar panels are currently advancing in phases, with completion targeted across the main building, the west wing, and the main building east wing, the kitchen, and the nurses' home facilities. Regarding the installation of heat pumps for the kitchen and nurses' home areas, I can confirm that the necessary heat pumps have been procured and are expected to be delivered this month. Similarly, the installation of cages and the ducting to manage the cold air distribution is proceeding as planned, with completion anticipated by the end of October. Honorable members, I wish to inform this August House that the PVC panels and the controllers have been delivered to the site and are ready for installation. The piping works and circulation pumps installations are scheduled to commence in the middle of October, following the arrival of the heat pumps. Testing and commissioning of the entire systems equally remain on schedule. While acknowledging the challenges inherent in infrastructure installations of this nature, I am encouraged to report that the overall project progress stands at 20% completion. This progress, though measured, reflects the methodical and quality-focused approach being undertaken to ensure the longevity and reliability of this critical healthcare facility infrastructure. The site instructions protocols remain a priority, with the site book maintained in triplicate to ensure transparency and accountability. All PVC panels, heat pumps, and inverters have been successfully procured. The inverters and the PVC panels are now on site, with the first batch for heat pumps expected to arrive in the middle of this month. Our ministry remains steadfast in its commitment to delivering this project with excellence. We are working diligently to ensure completion by the end of November, ahead of the contractual obligation. This proactive approach underscores our dedication to restoring essential services to our healthcare workers and the communities they serve. The restoration of the solar water heating system at the Katutura Intermediate Hospital represents more than infrastructure renewal. It symbolizes our commitment to providing dignified working conditions for our healthcare professionals and ensuring reliable services for our people. This investment in sustainable energy infrastructure aligns with our national development priorities and our commitment to environmental stewardship. I wish to express my sincere appreciation to all the stakeholders involved, in particular the Ministry of Health and Social Services, and our colleagues at the Ministry of Works and Transport. Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Works and Transport will continue to provide regular updates to the Honorable House on the progress of these projects and other critical infrastructure under our purview. And thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Now, I will recognize Honorable Venani. He would like to pose a question, I believe.
Honorable Speaker, I want to ask a few questions to the Minister of Environment. It goes without saying that calamity of any sort confronts any society in any way whenever it does. So one cannot blame anyone for the calamity that our biggest nature park has gone through. But I think one can ask for us to draw lessons and to start mitigating future calamities in managing it in better ways. For example, the fire in Etosha even also affected communities that are living closer to the border of Etosha. It means that our fire paths, after rain, we need to develop a strategy within the nature park of fire paths so that we can be able to mitigate and manage fell fires, so that it does not really reach communities that are outside of the fence, and that we can also minimize the areas to be burned down as they are. Lastly, I also want to know from you, Madam Minister, how do we address ecotourism marketing? Because now Etosha, Namibia, because of this felt fire and a calamity, the global tourism sector is seeing one of the biggest calamity, a nature park, conservation park, that has burned down. And there are a lot of people are doing a lot of damage with these elephants, some of them that are not even Namibian elephants, that are burned down, and these photos are circulating all over the world. I want to know from you, Madam Minister, what are you doing? What is the strategy employed by the ministry, by the tourism board, by whoever is involved in nature conservation to really remarket the destination, Etosha, remarket the country, Namibia, remarket that industry that is bringing a lot of foreign valuta through its activities. So for me, what has happened, but I'm having a problem with our counter strategies of ecotourism marketing, remarketing, and how we're remarketing. And I'm not seeing that from you. Even your statement is quite very late, because I thought you would have really responded on time. But now we are here. So what is it that you're doing to reignite the industry and fight back?
Very good. Let's be brief. I have a list. Honorable Shitana.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And to my Honorable Minister, I just need a clarity on, since this incident happened, you have been on the ground there, and we have been reading that the investigation is ongoing. So just to know, so far, have you found out what caused the fire? And the main issue is that that is the place where, as far as concerned, we have never heard anything that talks about those very, very expensive animals. And remember, when there's a distraction, there's always a way of anything. And as a country, we have never heard of anything that, okay, maybe we have lost one rhino that went out, or we have two pangolins that dies there, or something. So I think we need to have that one. Yeah, we don't know. We are in Windhoek, not Ochivarongo. Yeah, it's just that, Minister, we need also a statistic on these animals, because I'm doubting it can't be without any manipulation in this incident, because it's very, very serious. And if we did not have any report regards to that, we are going to be surprised one day when we are going to read forecast or whatever of rhino were found here and there. So just on that one, maybe you must give us the information about those animals. I submit.
Honorable Karonda.
It sounds almost like Kalola.
What is the correct pronunciation?
Karonda. No, I thought you said Kalola.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just a quick question to the Honorable Minister of Environment. The reason why the elephant had to be, is the right word, kill?
Put down.
Put down. Okay, yeah. What were the reasons? What was the damage that it caused? Is it only because it was at large? Is that why it had to, to be put down? And yes, you killed it. So anyway, Honorable Minister, where was it? Why did it have to be put down? That's one. And number two, was there a professional team dispatched to deal with this, or did we just take? Because I remember Honorable Kapovi saying soldiers are not trained to put out fires. I mean, were they part of those who had to put this thing down? Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Likando.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. for that ministerial statement.
Here I come.
Though I just want to find out, maybe the Honorable Minister can expand on the steps that were taken by the ministry on the ground to manage the crowd and also to ensure the fair distribution of this elephant meat. What were the steps that were taken? And also the second one, Honorable Minister, in Zambezi also, we faced a similar situation where a lot of elephants are roaming around the villages, even destroying crops.
But we don't
But
kill them.
we have few instances where these elephants were killed. Many of them, they will just be guided away from this community. So why this intervention not being applied there? Yeah, in Zambezi where we have a lot of those animals. And then when it comes to the health assessment of this meat, that meat for that animal, was there a health assessment to ensure that this meat it should be can be consumed by people? There is no disease or whatever in this carcass. Was there a health assessment? That's what I want to know. I hope you understand, Honorable Minister. Now, given the widespread of these images online, Honorable Sankwaza, given the widespread of these images online, how does the ministry assess the impact to Namibia's conservation in terms of the image and also the reputation? How do you assess that? Because these images have gone very far. Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you so much, Speaker. My intervention on the killed elephant. No, you killed. You killed. Where in your report or your presentations, you actually did not mention the proper assessment in terms of the damages that this elephant caused to human life, to properties, or anything. There is no monetary value that you mentioned. There is no statistics. There is no number. There is nothing. So basically, you kill an innocent animal that did nothing, just roaming around. And remember, localities is part of nature. Don't think nature starts where there is only trees and whatever. Where we stay, it also belongs to the animals. So it was an unarmed elephant. It's true. It's true. So, however, Honorable Minister, the issue of a torture, you haven't briefed Parliament rightfully on what really transpired in a torture. Now you are running to a killed elephant, and people want meat because they are hungry. People want meat. People want to eat. So I don't think, on comparing to what happened at the national park, you must really ignore that part and come and report about a killed elephant. So can you really justify when are you going to give a proper ministerial report?
Okay. Okay,
Giving
Honorable Member, can you round up?
Yes, a proper one of what transpired, not the media report you gave at Parliament, so that the nation can hear what transpired at the National Park of Etosha. I submit.
Thank you. Honorable Mvula.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Minister of the Environment. Now, you know, the gruesome pictures and videos circulating of this elephant being chopped apart, and also in consideration of animal integrity or cruelty, as the Honorable Minister alluded to. Now, the question is, what happened to tranquilizing animals that, for example, have escaped from captivity in order to bring them back safely? Is it a matter of cost, or simply that we do not have the necessary tools to actually tranquilize animals that go AWOL? That's one. As in the case of this poor elephant. Now, secondly, one had thought that the country has actually learned from the fire that actually happened in the Rehoboth rural constituency not so long ago, where two of the public, not even members of the public, but one of them having been the former mayor of the Rehoboth town, who received severe burns. Now, one had thought that we have learned from that, in that by now all the divisions, starting from the division of disaster management within the office of the Prime Minister, and perhaps also within the office of the Minister of Urban and Rural Development, would have consolidated in conjunction with the Minister of Environment to at least invest in aerial firefighting equipment, such as a single engine airplane or air tanker, because what we saw during this whole calamity, the intervention was good, and perhaps not very, it didn't respond on time, but the response was there. But the tools that were used, such as the fire beaters, that is really, that shows that we are poorly equipped to fight this type of natural calamities. So I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Haikola.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Minister. I just have two questions. In Umsati region, for example, a lot of people, the community members, have lost livestock and also some assets due to fire. Some of them are my neighbors. So is there a plan, me and Dr. Ngorare's neighbors, is there a plan that the ministry has in order to compensate or any incentives for the community members? Secondly, so what plan does the ministry does it plan to train the locals so that next time whenever fire comes out, Chief Whip, please, when fire comes out, the community members around Etosha and also towards Umsati regions, the affected areas currently will be able to fight fire better. So those are my two questions. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Daniel.
Why are you disturbing your... It's coming from Etosha.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, thank you for the questions. Your concern is my concern. Yes, the first question we're asking about on the calamity and the mitigation that we have in place in terms of the fire in Etosha and the eco-tourism, the strategies that we have in place. Yes, maybe in terms of the strategy, I think just yesterday, the team of management in the ministry have convened a meeting now, which is now like a post-mortem meeting, to look at the issues, look at what really caused the fire, what are the loopholes in terms of our policy or rules and regulations, and what our staff that were supposed to do and they have not done it. Okay, once that report is finalized, because they just convened it yesterday, it will be made available to Parliament. And it's not that we are leaving it unattended. We have convened a meeting, we looked at the issues, and we will give a proper report, not only to Parliament, the nation also needs to know what exactly happened and how best we can move forward in this. Yeah, in terms of now marketing, Etosha, okay, normally this month, October, November, is our low month, but we have not even observed any reduction in the Etosha visiting. It looks like maybe because of some areas that are bent and animals moved in more areas with grass, it looks like the visitors are more enjoying now seeing all animals once they go there. But one thing that we have to take note is nature heals itself. Yes, it's a sad thing that happened, I would not deny that, but I think if you just receive even once of rain, I think Etosha will recover itself and the animals will even enjoy more than before. Yeah, when on the weather, the report, I think I covered it and the issue of the report. On the question especially posed to, I think, Honorable Kandorodu, what are the damages? And yeah, the damages, I think the report that we are talking about, I think is to assess all the damages. We have already issued that report, and saying that we have not done anything or say anything to Parliament, that is not true. The report was given, and it was even given by the President. There was a statement from the Office of the President, which was read by our Right Honourable Prime Minister here in this August House. And yeah, in terms of now the damage that has been done and whether the household that were destroyed, yes, I'm not sure now whether the damage you're talking about is damage in terms of fire or damage in terms of the elephant. Because my statement was of the elephant, but it looks like questions are all from all encompassed. Since I have the answer, I can just answer them all. Is it on the elephant? Okay. Yeah, no, there were some households damaged. And like I told you, it has been out for some time. It was not on the day it was put down. It has been out, yes, houses has been damaged, property, but the fear, because the community where this elephant finds itself seems not to be very well versed with wildlife. Because I think they were following the animal, they were making noise and taking pictures. And those are what, in terms of, when we talk about elephant, that is what can stress them, and we did not want to see the unthinkable. So we wanted at least to protect human life. So that's why the elephant has to be put down, because irrespective of staff member being on site together with the Namibian police, I think it did not help. I think the community were out of control, especially when it moved now into Onanda area where the population is more densely. On the Zambezi, you made a reference to Zambezi region where similar animals are not being put down. I think in Zambezi, the setup is completely different. Ours in both areas. Those people, they live with animals. They know the coexistence happens. I know there are damages being recorded. No, there are damages. No, and the solution is not like every time we see an animal, we have to put it down. This is a one scenario, and it does not equate to other regions, and Zambezi is not the only area with elephants. But what is evident is that in Zambezi region, yes, there are elephants, but the behavior, maybe I would say, of the community, they more maybe used, they do not behave. If you have seen what happens in Onanda and other areas where this elephant was, I think it was not good. It was not good, and the fear is like that we did not want to lose a life. In terms of the health, yes, whenever an animal is put down, we always have our vet on site. Okay, you asked the question. Do you want me to answer?
Can we allow the minister to answer, please? Minister, please. Yes, I have exercised my flexibility.
Yeah.
To allow the minister
okay,
to
I'll
respond.
move to the next one. I think you know that answer. Images that are gone viral. Yes, images are gone viral. We do not have much control of what the people are doing. But yes, we have taken, we issued press statements just to urge the community to refrain from those activities. It's a wrong practice, and as an honorable minister, where you have seen it, just as much as I, as a minister, you can also alert the people that what you are doing is not right. And that is, I think, if we all care, and we seem to feel we care, I think the responsibility is on all of us. The ministry is there to regulate, but the onus is on all of us as Namibian nation. What was the other question? Okay, I think I feel I have covered all the questions. Just wait for the proper report. It is coming.
Yes, Honorable Nekundi, were there questions directed to you? Yes, honorable members, I'm not going to allow another round of questions unless if you have posed a question. Your question was not answered. Oh, okay, so there were questions. Can you, in half a minute, say what the question was? Please don't repeat this whole question.
Yeah, the question was regarding to those animals that are easily to be poached. Like a rhino.
Okay, Honorable Minister.
Why be you are a poacher?
Okay.
If you are a poacher, we will not let you.
Honorable Daniels, there are two questions that are said to be left unanswered. No, it was not a statement. No more new questions. Now we will just answer the questions that were posed. Honorable Daniels, there is, you also have a question that was not answered. Okay, Honorable Daniels, there was apparently a question of Honorable Mvula, Honorable Shitana, and Honorable Haikola that were not answered. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, can you in summary say what your question was, Honorable Shitana?
Okay. Honorable Minister, my question was based on the animals that are easily to be poached, like the rhinos, the pangolin.
Okay, now that was not part of the statement.
The question was.
Okay, can you just give him a chance?
Yeah. No, the question was. Can we have a report, or we haven't lost anything in regards to that animal?
You mean
that
the
was
fire?
question.
Yeah. So that was about the fire.
Yeah.
So you don't have to give that answer today, because today you were talking about the elephant, and the questions have to be about the putting down of the elephant. What was the question of Honorable Haikola?
Fire of
Yes, pangolins. Yes, pangolins. You heard right. Honorable Minister, I have asked about whether there will be training for local communities that are close to Etosha, and also whether the community members that lost their assets and livestock, especially in Umsati region, will be compensated due to fire. Not necessarily the elephants. The elephants will know the story, but fire.
Okay. Now,
Thank you.
Honorable Minister, was the statement today about the fire or about the elephant?
Yeah. Let me just
If it was the elephant, we will only answer questions about the elephant. Now,
Okay.
what was the question of Honorable Mbula?
I think your question is very relevant.
But no,
you have
just
said-
one moment, Honorable Minister. We need to hear what the question of Honorable Mbula was.
No, my question was really whether we can find a better way of dealing with animals that go AWOL instead of really killing them.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay,
The elephant.
so that is about the elephant. So if the statement today was about the putting down of the elephant, the follow-up questions can only be about that and nothing else. Yeah, so Honorable Minister, you have the...
Yes. Okay, with regards to other questions, I told you we had a post-mortem meetings where we all look at all these things and the report will be brought here,
Very
which
good.
include the strategies that we will put in place, the damages and everything. Okay, and with regards now to the translocation, not okay, or putting down the animal. When we say the animal is put down, there is a method of putting down animal in a very professional way. Not shooting it, not. I think there is a way to do that. Yeah, in terms of we do not always just. Okay, we do not always put down animals. Yes, we do a lot of translocation as well, but that is also not a cheap exercise. Very often, staff try to take the animals back into the park by other methods. But the putting an animal down, that is a last resort. That must just be understood like that.
Okay, thank you. Now, we are over the 5 minutes that the Speaker is allowed to give us extension time for follow-up questions. So now we will proceed to the reports from the Committee of the Whole Assembly and consequential proceedings. Any such report? And then we go to the order of the day. The first notice of a motion is the one of the Honorable Minister of Health and Social Services. Does the Honorable Minister move that the bill be now introduced? Is there any objection? No. Then it's agreed. Will the Honorable Minister table the bill?
Yes. Yes, Honorable Speaker.
The Secretary will now read the bill a first time.
Mental Health Bill. Mental Health Bill.
Does the Honorable Minister of Health and Social Services move that the bill now be read a second time?
Yes, I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Any objection? No. Who seconds? Agreed to. The Honorable Minister has the floor to motivate.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, I rise today to table for favorable consideration for this August House, finally, the Mental Health Bill of 2025, a landmark piece of legislation aimed at transforming mental health care in Namibia, ensuring dignity, rights, as well as the well-being of all Namibians. Mental health is an integral part of public health. It is vital to the nation's social as well as economic development. Yet, for way too long, mental health has been under-prioritized, stigmatized, and governed by an outdated colonial-era framework that no longer reflects the democratic values, contemporary national context, nor international human rights standards. The health of the Namibian people does not only depend on the absence of physical disease or infirmity, but also on sound mental and social well-being. Hence why the World Health Organization defines health as a state of complete well-being, physical, mental, and spiritual or social well-being, and not just the absence of disease. In every family, community, and workplace across the country, mental health conditions affect the quality of life and human potential. And it involves a diverse range of conditions and not just schizophrenia, as has been said previously. Honorable Speaker, the current Mental Health Act number 18 of 1973 was enacted long before independence under circumstances that did not prioritize human rights, autonomy, or dignity. It focused narrowly on institutionalization as well as control, with limited provisions for community-based care, patients' rights, and even oversight mechanisms. It in no way reflects Namibia's democratic values, nor the obligations under both local as well as international treaties, such as the Namibian Constitution and the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which Namibia ratified. The Mental Health Bill of 2025 seeks to repeal and replace this 1973 law. It provides a modern, comprehensive, human rights-based framework for mental health care services in the country. It aligns with the Constitution, particularly Article 8 on dignity and Article 10 on equality, and it gives effect to Namibia's commitment on inclusive development, as well as enshrined in Vision 2030, universal health coverage, as well as the Sustainable Development Goals. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, allow me to briefly highlight what the bill entails. The bill is structured into 11 parts, covering the full spectrum of mental health care, patient rights, institutional responsibilities, as well as oversight mechanisms. Number 1, or Part 1, introductory provisions. It sets out objectives and applications of the bill. The bill explicitly states its purpose, which is to regulate mental health care in Namibia, to promote dignity, autonomy, and to access to the best possible care in an equitable as well as an affordable manner. In order to promote dignity, autonomy, human rights, social and physical well-being of persons with mental health conditions, to provide for the care and treatment of persons with mental health conditions, to set out procedures that must be followed should persons with mental health conditions require admission to facilities and for their discharge from such facilities, to establish review boards to supervise the functions of mental health services and mental health facilities, to provide for the powers and functions of review boards, to provide for the care and administration of the property of persons with mental conditions, and generally to give effect to the provisions of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, and to provide for incidental matters. Part 2, essential principles of mental health care. This part places a duty on the state to implement policies, to designate facilities, and provide comprehensive primary, secondary, tertiary, as well as community-based care, emphasizing on the need for screening for mental health at the community and primary health care clinics and health centers for timely diagnosis and appropriate interventions in order to decentralize treatment of mental health. It emphasizes that mental health care must be delivered in the least restrictive environment with full respect for the rights of persons. Number 3, rights and duties relating to patients. This is the heart of the bill. It protects personal integrity, dignity, and privacy. It sets out clear rules, consent, prohibits discrimination, exploitation, abuse, and forced sterilization. It restricts the use of seclusion and restraints to the strictest conditions. Patients are guaranteed representation, access to information, as well as knowledge of their rights. Number 4, voluntary care. The bill provides detailed procedures for those who require assistance in involuntary care, where a person may be a danger to themselves or to others. These procedures are safeguarded by medical assessments, judicial oversights, and the rights of appeal. Number 5, independent reviews are established to oversee facilities, monitor compliance, as well as to hear appeals, ensure accountability, they prevent abuse, and These review boards are independent, established to oversee facilities, to monitor compliance and hear appeals. The powers and functions are to hear appeals against decisions of health facility heads, investigate patient complaints or grievances, review the mental health status of forensic patients and inmates, and address allegations of exploitation, abuse, or ill treatment. It must inform the official curator ad litem on relevant complaints, conduct at least one unannounced visit per year to facilitate under its jurisdiction, and carry out any other functions assigned under this Act, thereby ensuring oversight, accountability, and the protection of patients' rights. Number 6, appeals, judicial review, as well as periodic assessment. Patients and their family are empowered to challenge decisions. Regular assessments ensure that involuntary or assisted care is not prolonged unnecessarily, and that patients can recover autonomy where possible. Number 7, forensic mental health patients. This part regulates the care of persons referred by courts for psychiatric observation or those found not criminally responsible due to mental illness. In addition, and I wish to highlight this, in addition, private facilities are not admitting patients with mental health conditions. Hence, this bill empowers the Ministry of Health and Social Services to designate public and private facilities as mental health facilities. These principles balance the right of patients with safety of society. Number 8, inmates and offenders with mental health conditions. The bill ensures that inmates and offenders are assessed, that they are treated humanely and transferred to designated facilities where necessary. It prevents the warehousing of people with mental health conditions in correctional facilities without the appropriate care. Number 9, care and administration of property, recognizing that some patients may not be able to manage their own financial affairs. The bill provides for the appointment of administrators under strict judicial oversight to protect patients' property as well as their interests. Number 10, offenses and penalties. The bill criminalizes abuse, neglect, discrimination, exploitation, and ill treatment of patients. It sets out penalties for misconduct by staff, including acts of cruelty, sexual abuse, or unlawful disclosure of information. Number 11, general provisions. This part empowers the minister to make regulations ensuring cooperation with police and other authorities and provides for transitional arrangements to align with the new framework. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, in summary, this bill represents a paradigm shift from the past approach of control and confinement towards a right-based, patient-centered, and community-oriented system of mental health care. It ensures that mental health care services are accessible not only in Windhoek, but also throughout all regions in the country, with greater emphasis on community-based care, rehabilitation, and reintegration. Importantly, the bill recognizes that mental health is not only a matter for the Ministry of Health and Social Services, but it also requires collaboration across government, civil society, traditional authorities, and families. It promotes education, awareness, intersectoral cooperation to combat stigma, which is a very big issue, and to integrate mental health education into schools, workplaces, and communities. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, by passing this bill, the Parliament will affirm Namibia's commitment to protecting the most vulnerable, to upholding human dignity, and to building a society where nobody is left behind or stigmatized, irrespective of what mental health condition they may have. This legislation is not only about treatment, it is about hope, inclusion, and justice. It is about ensuring that a person with a mental health condition is not treated as an object of shame or neglect, but as a Namibian with rights, potential, and human dignity. I therefore appeal to honorable members to support the mental health bill. Let us stand together in advancing the rights and the well-being of the people of Namibia and enshrine a law and a framework that will serve present and future generations. I so move, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. I now recognize Honourable Venani.
Honourable Speaker, I rise to support this very landmark piece of legislation. There is one thing in me that is never for sale, and that is patriotism to this country. What is the value of a leader across any divide if it is not about promoting the social well-being of our people? This is one issue that has eluded political leadership over a number of years. Here in this House, the nexus of politics was always about fighting for the other issues rather than the real social issues that affects our people. The reason why we have the highest suicide rates in the whole of Africa tells you that we have not invested our time, our energy in mental health. It's an issue that has eluded all of us. I am a member, and I serve on a global board on mental health. And by serving in this board, it has opened my eyes on issues that we would ordinarily not discuss as men. Let's start there. There is a stigma that we have put on a boy child. And that is that a boy child never cries, even if he's in pain. Honorable Herunga, Honorable Kapofi, Honorable whoever were taught by our forebearers. A son never cries, he never complains. And that's why you are seeing men hanging themselves on trees, because it comes from a social condition of where you are told, you don't do this, therefore remain like this. But that don't do, it's within you. There is a Chiherero saying that says Mokoto, and I'm sure in many other languages there is a similar saying. There is a saying that says Mokoto kamuiwanamaki. Within you, you don't enter with the inner you can't enter with hands. So you don't really know what goes on within the inner person. Mental health is not an issue of only joblessness. Even members of parliament, even leaders of countries, leaders of society, magnificent personalities are suffering from mental health. We are human. And by not realizing that we are human, we end up suffering from it. Because the minute that I was reading something about the Right Honorable Prime Minister, that he was at the verge of even considering suicide. Please, let's not politicize a matter of this magnitude. No, please, let's rise above pettiness. When you hear a man who has gone to school with a PhD, the highest level of education, he himself became fallible because of a condition, we must know we are in a bigger problem than we can imagine. Because surely the sheer importance of education should have rescued him. But that couldn't rescue, because the pressing problems were bigger than what he has. Now what about a student who is living in Onjambarara with a degree without a job for the last 10 years? Even worse. One of the things that we do, and especially in our society, is our marriages. When your daughter marries into the Mobitas family, as an example, or an Athinge family, and your daughter runs back home and says, you know, Papa, the son you gave me is beating me.
we stand up as the elders and says, my mother never ran back. Who are you to disagree our family to start running back? Go and endure. That's what we are telling our daughters. Your daughter is being beaten by the husband. You are only thinking about the cattle and the honor of the Venani clan. That is so bigger than the life of your own daughter. We are doing these things. And that's why our children end up drinking tablets. Because the society is forcing them to appreciate something that is not working for them. Same in relationships, where sometimes, and more than often, where young wives, you marry into a relationship, you are being told, you are useless like your father. You don't bring money. Who are you? These things, if we are not raising them, that our relationships have become greater anchor of financial beings than social beings. If you get married to a doctor, Dr. Luvindao, and you are a mechanic in Katutura, and as an example, you would be told, you are useless, you. No, I'm not saying she. I'm using these examples that leads our people into these mental problems. And I want to be very brief. That it is time for society to rise up and to start confronting wrongs that we have perfected in the name of honor. And it comes through civilization, mind you. Go to the Arab countries. An Arab country, a wife, a mature wife who's a professional, would need permission from his 5-year-old son to go and go to the shop. These things are happening in states that we run to. You go to Jordan, you go to... It's a bill, eh?
Oh, it's a bill.
A bill is 15 minutes, eh? A bill is a little bit more.
It's a bill. All members.
Go to countries. Go to countries where women enjoys no rights.
5 minutes. He
Yes.
has 5 minutes, and now he has 1 minute. All bills except appropriation bill. Yeah, first reading. Other members, 15 minutes. Did you set it at 15 minutes, Secretary?
No, it was just 5.
Yeah, that's their
Yeah,
problem.
I'll lend the 10.
It's blinking. No, it's the Secretariat. They didn't set it up. It's blinking correctly. So please set the timer properly. Now we don't know when he started.
Yeah, no, start afresh. So, Honorable, I was speaking from civilization, from biblical times, religious. Everywhere you go, you find society modeling itself in a way that they see honor. But society has never modeled itself, mind you, modeled itself in addressing the pitfalls of these honors. And these pitfalls are creating the mental health that we're experiencing. Some of us were bullied at school. Well, I could have been the bullied, but I was bullied, and I'm saying it. And I tell my children every day, yes. Children bully one another. When we were growing up, Katamelo years, you remember the recruits. They started it, the Honorable Narusep them started it. You would be told when you are a new recruit, an initiation process at school. Block up, yeah. You would be told to jump. Somebody would act as if you are being shot at, and you must jump from the high bed onto the floor, and you must jump as if you are killed. Koof. Do you know that that bullying enters into your marriage? Because now you have become a being that is trying to protect yourself from being bullied. Even if your wife says, I don't think you need to eat that because it's not healthy. You will start saying, you think I'm stupid. Because the whole social condition has conditioned yourself to protect yourself. You become you are protecting yourself over nothing. Even if somebody says, no, the shirt is not really properly, why don't you do it this way? Because the children used to laugh at you, you are protecting yourself. For example, in my early years at school, primary, my name is McHenry, a very difficult name for Hereros to pronounce. Even Kandrovo finds it very difficult. So the kids would call me a number of names because they couldn't pronounce a name. To a point, now I will not tell you, like, I'm not going to. I tell you something that I'm experiencing in elder years. When you go to international conference, and the foreign affairs people like it so much, they give you a tag of your name. You are Ambassador who or Benani, whatever. Up to this moment, I find it very odd, and I don't accept it to wear a tag. Because I have a phobia on a tag. Because the children just used to tease me because of my difficult name, to a point that I don't even go to a conference and put a tag. I don't put it. I'll always have it on my, those that travel with me know that I always have it in my bag, but I never put a tag. And it's just a minor issue of kids bullying you over a name, but it has influenced you in your professional life not to like it. Trauma, that trauma. So I'm trying to say it is time for society to start opening up, to start really addressing what we misinformed our boy children, to a point that the boy child goes and hangs himself because he has been conditioned that he doesn't cry. So the only place to cry is to jump on a tree. We just lost one of our best singers through suicide. And these things are happening to us because the church is quiet, the traditional authority is quiet, the politics is addressing all other matters besides mental health. Let's really support this bill. And all I want to say is, let's add an element of research. We really need to develop a research culture in the country, especially our universities, to really go deeper into the real causes of mental health. And this research must also strive to help us as the society is evolving. In the older days, you did not date with a cell phone. You did not ask for a girl out. Today, nowadays, when you ask for a girl out, the next thing is that, give me credit. It was not there 20 years ago. It was not years. I am a leader. I am a leader. And I know, Honorable, and I know, a leader must be contemporary. You must know what is happening in society. you must know what is happening in society. And many of you are...
Honorable Benani,
yes.
That's the stereotyping of women. So it can be the other way around.
Yeah, it can also be.
Yes, it can be the other way around.
Honorable Speaker, we must be very honest. Facts are just facts. Sometimes, do you know why men are killing women? And I want to round off.
No.
Listen, no, please. No, let's do that. Men have this thing, those that have means. You start giving what you don't even give to your mother. Buying a car, buying this, that, the other. When the person says, no, I no longer think you are the right person for me, you start going to your bank balance and say, I've lost so much, therefore I'll kill you. These are things that are happening in society. And these are realities that we need to confront to address mental health. We should not fall short of raising those red flags that are happening in our society that creates this problem. I want to end by saying, and I said it, I think this bill is timely. It is going to help us dealing with the problem. But it must broaden its scope to address the social frontier. Because it addresses when a person is identified with the sickness and the processes that you need to go through. But how do we raise the alarm? At school, at work, at church, in the army, wherever we are. And I think society And societal leaders on all the stratas must wake up and really try to address this problem of mental health. Even here in Parliament, we must even have a room. I can even suggest to have a room where people just go and confess their mental problems to whoever. Yes. Yes. Because you have this problem within you. You have this problem within you, but you have nobody to talk to. You can't come to your leader and say, Mr. Leader, I have a mental problem. Then the leader will say, then you are incompetent to run, to be a minister. But mental health can confront any person, anywhere, anytime, and we must have some time sessions where you just go and de-stress and just say that I'm experiencing this at home, rather than somebody going and hang himself. You'd hear, no, Honorable Venani has hanged himself because Claudina did not give tea or whatever. So these are things that are confronting us. Let's fight it hands-on and let's rise above the political bickering. Let's do something right for our society and let's talk honestly and debate it honestly, and I support this piece of legislation. Thank you very much.
Because really this creates problems because we cannot monitor the time. Now I recognize Honorable Manobe Numbe.
Honorable Speaker, mine is to postpone the debate if there is no one else.
Okay, are there other MPs that would like to? Okay, now Honorable Lukato. I have a list.
Honorable Speaker, members of Parliament, I raise to support the bill 100% because it will benefit our people, the masses of this country. The last is only a question, Honorable Minister, that before this bill comes here, who are the players, stakeholders, those you engaged in this bill? That's all I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Werikwa.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Having taken note of the bill that is on the floor, while in support of the very important bill, I also would want to, Speaker, indicate that due to mental health issues, we have members on the other side of the aisle that are actually displaying some symptoms and signs that somehow those members are displaying.
Point of order.
Can I lend my point?
Point of order.
Can I lend my point?
Okay, there is a point of order, Honorable Member.
I haven't landed my point. I'm not going to allow a point of order.
Why do you say that, Honorable Member? That's an attempt to bully the presiding officer. Now, Honorable, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think, Honorable Speaker, really the member must be called to order and must be asked to withdraw unconditionally. I think the spirit that the minister has brought this motion with is that of saying we must now do away with the stereotypes in our society and this stigma. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, it's wrong of Honorable Werikwa Kiringi to come and Deputy Speaker, am I protected?
Yes, you are protected.
Because I don't know which rule allows two members to be standing at the same time.
He is out of order. You can all help me to just comply with the rules. I gave the floor to Honorable Hengari.
Thank you.
She has the floor.
Thank you very much for that protection. So, Honorable Speaker, my request is simple, that the Honorable Member please withdraw and apologize, not just to members of this House, but to the Namibian nation.
Thank you. Honorable
Thank you very much,
please
Honorable
just
Speaker.
withdraw.
Honorable Speaker, with all due respect, I think we should be cordial and, of course, respectful to one another as we are talking. I haven't landed my point. My point, and I still insist on it, I'm going to land it.
Yeah,
I said,
one
members are displaying signs and symptoms of mentally healthy people. That is the nature of how we must debate on this bill. That was my point. Before I landed my point, the member took the floor. I haven't. Go listen to it. Go listen to it. Go listen to it. So I submit that point, I will not withdraw anything. That is a fact, and I'm going to stand on that. It must be, I cannot withdraw, that is factual. Secondly,
what is the point that you made? What were you saying?
Getting back to the bill now, Honorable Speaker.
No. What is it that you said?
What I said was, the members of the House on the other side of the aisle are displaying a sign and symptoms of mentally healthy individuals, and the nature in which we are debating this bill, it is what we must do. Because this bill is of mental health, and mental health is critical to our country. So the member cannot just stand up and say, I must withdraw before I land my point.
Okay, honorable member.
For the sake of peace, I withdraw whatever she says I must withdraw, I will withdraw.
Yeah,
Can I
otherwise
proceed,
I
please?
was going to check the
Yeah, please check.
And we confirm. Yeah,
Please
then
do check.
please proceed.
For the sake of progress, asked by the Speaker, I will withdraw, but please do check. Thank you very much.
Please proceed, honorable
Thank you very
member.
much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. In supporting of this very important bill, it is a piece that was brought at an opportune time when Namibia had been classified, when you look at the record of globally, and of course in Africa in particular, we are among the highest countries, we have the highest rate of suicidal rate in Africa in general, but primarily when you come to the Republic of Namibia, the demography indicates that the men are more in terms of those rates or those cases compared to our female counterparts. That alone will tell you the issues that men are dealing with, and of course in conformity with my former speaker, Honorable Venani, mental health is a serious cause of concern in our country. Honorable Minister of Health, thank you very much for bringing this bill. It is providing a solution to the long-awaited problems, it's providing a solution to this long overdue problem that we have been dealing with. But importantly, the bill is also talking about integrating mental health into physical health. A key component that is going to deal with us ensuring that it is not a peripheral issue that is at the realm, but rather a synchronized and importantly an issue of mainstream that can be dealt with on a daily basis. The bill is dealing with primary issues that we need to look at. The issue of decentralization, Honorable Speaker. Are going through self-created solution-finding missions that when you are in your own world, where you are reeling over issues and thinking, where do I get a solution? Most of the time that solution is not available because of the lack of resources and infrastructure that support the people on the rural areas. This bill accords the opportunity for this to be integrated at grassroots level. There's an opportune time to Namibia to say that indeed mental health must be a thing of the past. Honorable members, as we are dealing with this issue, we must deal with this issue for a clear understanding that it is not an issue that needs to be patronized, it's not an issue that needs to be somehow stigmatized. Because the stigma that have been allocated to such an issue over the years have led to a number of people, especially men, not to come out strong and being able to air their problems and issues that they are facing. A lot of men, from a cultural and traditional point, prefer to be introvert on this issue. They prefer to be silent and, of course, cry in silence. Even at a time when you have lost your own parents, even at a time when you're unable to feed your own family, even at a time when you have lost everything, you are required, and the society expects you to be a man. Man up and stand up and develop a thick skin and go ahead. But that alone will pile up, and at a point it will reach bottleneck, and eventually suicide will kick in. Mental health have a number of factors, as the Honorable Minister has rightfully put it. It is not about the schizophrenic approach that we look at, delusion, illusion, and so forth. It is much more of a deeper issue, where from the age of 0 to 12, it is a time that we condition our young ones. But when you look at those that are suffering and going through mental health issues today, are those when you go in the track record, there was somehow childhood trauma of some kind. We need to open up. We need to be passionate about one another, empathetic and sympathetic to each other's differences as far as upbringing is concerned. There are those that would have grown up in good societies and good environment and good families that can afford everything. And then you find us, those that grew up from the streets, with domestic mothers that have to make sure that indeed you find something to eat. Where you have to go through difficult and heavy times, but in the end you say, if I don't make it, who will make it? That alone is a burden that you put on the young men and women of our republic. This bill aims to liberate us from that very issue, to make sure that we go out there as a liberated nation as far as mental health is concerned. Honorable Minister and your staff, do continue carrying out this good work. Understand and know that indeed some of us, we are here behind you to carry this very yoke up to the logical end. The financial aspect, the infrastructure support, the resource availability have been a hindering factor as far as this is concerned. It is reported that in Namibia only 2 mental health facilities are available. I was reigning over Shodonjupa region, which is one of the regions that is having a place called Okongwari. But on top of Okongwari, for those who do not know, we do have another place. Chair, what is the name of Kalfeld? That's the rehabilitation place? Kalfeld, there is a place, a good farm. It's not Okongwari. Okongwari is a state one, of course. But there is another one that is from...
It's your speech.
Okay. The place that we are talking of, it's a place where they bought a farm. A farm was bought, Honorable Minister. And eventually people that are recovering from mental health and psychological problems in other countries are being brought as a rehabilitation center to actually bring them back into that very life, including wellness affairs. It is indeed a model that we need to explore and look into. As I am about to conclude, the division and selective treatment of children at childhood level is a key factor. And I urge fellow parents, let us treat each of our children equally. Because the moment you have a division in your house where you say some children are better than the others, but all of them are your own biological children, you inflict some trauma and that trauma doesn't get to an end. The cultural and traditional norms and values, they tend to dwarf and somehow strangle these mental health related issues, whereby as a man, you are not allowed to be complaining, and I have expounded on that. Where a woman, as a woman, you are being married at a young age, at a tender, where you haven't even explored what your capabilities are and what your aspirations are. You are just being married to this Mr. Venani, because that Mr. Venani is a trusted and a big man in the society, and nobody responds to him. So my daughter has to be married to Mr. Venani because Mr. Venani, Honorable Venani, is having a kraal full of cattle, and he can actually take care of that. This concept and other concepts need to be explored. Also, I want to diffuse at this point. The wrong connotation regarding Oshiramo issue have to actually find its natural death. Oshiramo was a concept that was introduced in the cultural system of the Herero community. And it was meant for good reasons. But somehow, even as Honorable April is putting it, he is trying to distort somehow the relevance of this. Cultural norms and values that are of good nature and well-meaning ought to be preserved. But those that are bringing problems and challenges to our society ought to be done away with. I support the bill without any condition, but rather than that one. Thank you very much, Honorable Hengari. I'm sure you are satisfied. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable. On what point, Honorable Member, would you like to rise?
Yeah, on 83D, Speaker, point of question of privilege, I just want to ask that I know this question was already asked by Prof. What then, when we make our beautiful contribution as Honorable Venani did, will there be a possibility or to say, will it influence or to add to the bill, or we just debate for the sake of debating? So I really want to know, because there is a difference that if my contribution will assist to strengthen the bill, then we need to know, or we just debate being excited and talk about mental issues, but nothing happens. Thank you so much, Speaker.
Very good. So I will answer there. In terms of the rules, when a matter is brought to Parliament for considerations, members would participate in the discussions, and the whole idea of participating is if we are offering alternative approaches, or we are suggesting additional measures on top of what is being proposed, we try to convince the presenter about the appropriateness of what we are proposing. Then the member who moved would respond. And in that response, the member is going to indicate, oh yes, here there was a point, there I will amend the bill, or and so forth. Yeah, the members can also propose that the bill is referred to a committee. But there, it also has to be agreed amongst us, because if you propose that it goes to a committee, the presiding officer will have to ask the House, is that agreed? If the House does not agree, somebody can just say no and object, and there is a division. So yes, our contributions can improve what comes here, but what we need to understand is, in terms of the constitutions, decisions in the House are made either by consensus, in which case you convince each other, or by a vote. There is no other way that we can make sure that the ideas that come from the floor find their way into the documents that come here. No, that is just a privilege, I think, to explain. Yeah, no, but I just needed to explain that part. People need to understand that just because you raise something does not mean it's getting in. You need to sell that idea to someone. Yeah, and as much as possible, just because you can vote other people out, doesn't mean that you vote them out. If somebody says something that is convincing, you can agree to take that on board. And therefore, you as a member also, when you get up on the floor, you try to convince the other person. You don't try to fight the other person. Because we are all serving the interests of the Namibian public. And all of us are affected. Yeah. Okay, so that's the explanation. Honorable Mbakera.
On the tabling of this bill, I remember our discussion, and you told me, Bakera, the bill is coming. I came across a very sad situation in Ochivarongo, where a person was indecently exposing himself and walking around, and I had to bring in police to take him to the hospital. And the sad state of affairs at the hospital, there was no place that they could hold him because he turned violent. And then what happened is that the doctor on duty was telling me that they can only sedate him and then send him back to community, which was very sad for me. And I remember when I came back, I had that discussion with you, and I'm very happy, and congratulations, Honorable Minister. Now, apart from outdated laws and many other challenges, like Honorable Guerigua has said, budgetary provision, lack of trained staff, patient and nurse ratio was also an issue. And I trust that really this bill will also get enough financial means and enough financial means to really support the bill, and then the bill then be. I'm really getting emotional. I'm happy about this bill, really. Now, Honorable Minister, there was also an issue of a 16-year-old minor that was put together with an adult in, I think, Oshakati Intermediate Hospital. And the minor unfortunately lost his life because he was attacked by an adult that was held with him. And I hope that, though I did not go through the bill, that age-appropriate clustered facilities will be there, so that really the minors will be kept separate from adults, and that these minors also will be safe, though they are also patients and might have the same condition as the adults. So, Minister, the bill is a testimony that every life is really valued and very important in our Namibia, and we should be proud, and I hope that I will be remembered as a lawmaker that have passed this bill on this specific day. So I would really want us to just approve the bill and go with the bill, and so that the people can get assistance and know these things of lot of discussions and delays on this bill. This is the bill that the people have been waiting for, and this is a good day for those family members. This is a special day for those family members that are sitting with patients at home that don't even know what to do with those patients. People that are running around. Many people actually have lost lives in this country. I remember a person coming to the house and attacking his own mother because of the mental state of affairs that he was in, and he killed his mother. I remember of a brother that was on NPC that came back from somewhere and he damaged all the property of the sister and trying to grab the sister. So many things have been happening. So I really want us not to postpone and have a lot of discussion on the bill so that the bill can go back and the Namibians can see that this parliament is not only for questions and answers, they've actually passed the bill. I so submit. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Honorable Brinkman.
Thank you.
We are shadowing.
The shadow minister indeed. It would be an error for me not to say something, to thank the honorable minister and the ministry for bringing this bill. It is indeed long overdue. I want to seek the indulgence of the House since the time is almost up to postpone this debate. I know Honorable Minister said she wants to also postpone. So I don't know, maybe Speaker can direct us. How do we go about it?
Yeah, in that case, Honorable Member, I will have to revert back to Honorable Manobe and give her the opportunity to propose a deferment. Or does the Honorable Nekundi wish to contribute now? Okay, Honorable Nekundi has the floor.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. The bill is really important that we must support the bill. I do not want to dwell into the nitty-gritties of the bill. I think that is paramount important. All of us understand the importance. However, I have two substantive matters that I really have issues to deal with, and I think the House needs to appreciate what I want to raise. The first issue is on page 74, which is section 65. I think one needs to have a proper clarification. And that I want to have a clarification. It says a person employed in the health facility, including a community-based health care facility, may not, subject to subsection 2, take personal gender. I just want to appreciate the opposite gender. That means I cannot take position of a woman. I think the reason is because this person is vulnerable. Now, the sex of Nekundi is known as a male. She is known as a female. But now we know the John who is not John in the sexual orientation. I just want to know how does that, it is very serious. Yes, look, we must be serious, colleagues. Because the reason we are saying a man cannot take care of a patient of opposite gender is because of our sexual desires. Yeah. Now, a man who biologically is a man, but his sexual orientation is a male. Now, how does, no, colleagues, colleagues, let's look at the law. We are dealing with the law. And that is where we go wrong as lawmakers. We found one thing after we pass the laws because we want to pass them with understanding the implications that we are passing. And I have a practical experience in this August House. We are saying a man cannot take charge of a female in that environment. The reason for that, it must be clear, is because of the act one can perform. Yes, that's the reason. That's the reason. Now, we now know in our society there is somebody who is a man biologically, but sexual actions are contrary to that biological. How do we then phrase that text so that a man who believes he can sleep with another man cannot then be put in a man because he can perform the same sex with another man? How do you address that? Or a woman, that woman cannot be cannot take custody of a woman because she performs sex with another woman. So we need to understand that. Colleagues, we must understand. That is, so that when we are passing this law, we know what we are dealing with. The next issue that I want to deal with, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, I know time is running, is Section 11. Section 11 is also of a paramount importance as we are debating this. It says a person may not be discriminated against on the ground of his or her mental health status. Read with 3, which says a person may not be discriminated directly or indirectly in an employment decision or adopt any requirement or engage in any practice which has an effect directly or indirectly discriminating against any individual on the ground of a past or existing. The existing is somewhere, past is something else. Existing. So somebody who is known to have a mental problem, can you then put this person in employment, let's say of a military, who's going to use a firearm? No, because you are not allowed to discriminate. Colleagues, let us be clear. Let us be clear. Even if you are mentally not unwell, can you take a football club because you have a good skills? Can you employ that somebody to become a striker while you are not mentally fit? So therefore, I'm just saying, I have the utmost respect. But what I was saying is, we need then just to understand, as we are passing this bill, we understand what is implied. You cannot discriminate also in the employment based on the mental status of a person. You cannot discriminate.
Okay, Honorable.
So are we saying somebody who is not mentally well and is diagnosed with not mentally well can be employed in any environment? Can he or she be employed to work in a vessel where he can jump off in the ocean?
Honorable, as we
are passing this bill, let's apply our mind in that context.
Honorable,
thank you very much.
You can continue. The House would rise on automatic adjournment until tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.